World War, the Great Depression, and yet another war. The first half of the 20th century brought significant changes to the lives of ordinary Hoosiers and to the role of government in their lives. In the First World War, more than 4 million U.S. soldiers, including 150,000 Hoosiers, fought in Europe. Back home in Indiana, every Hoosier was called upon to contribute to victory by planting victory gardens, buying war bonds, and conserving every resource. Post-war prosperity eventually gave way to hardship and a Great Depression. The economy collapsed, and across Indiana and America, millions lost their jobs, homes, and farms. In response, the government tried many ways to create jobs, including the Civilian Conservation Corps, known as the CCC, which employed nearly 64,000 young men in Indiana alone. They primarily completed construction projects in Indiana state parks and forests. In addition, the Public Works of Art program employed artists to create murals and sculptures for public buildings across the state. When the U.S. entered the Second World War, Hoosiers again were called upon to sacrifice for the war effort. Feeding the troops was a challenge, and food at home was rationed, and scrap metal of all kinds was collected and recycled to make airplane parts. The state's factories were retooled to supply equipment for the war. Studebaker in South Bend built trucks and tanks. Delco in Kokomo built radios and other electronics. And the Evansville shipyard built ships to transport armaments to the front lines. In times of war and crisis, Hoosiers were called upon to contribute and to sacrifice, and the citizens of Indiana rose to the challenge. How much are today's citizens willing to sacrifice for their state and country? And in return, what obligations does a government have to its citizenry?